Hi guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, make sure that you like and subscribe. Today I'm really excited for today's video. I'm going to be reacting to some of my old trades in Adopt Me from 2020, which is when there was no elf bread, there was no MVGG, it was just happy values. And some of these trades are a little bit questionable for like in today's values, but I'm going to be reacting to them. So I'm super excited. I hope you guys all enjoy. Okay, so this was one of the first trades that was on my camera roll that I had saved. So it's a Red Arctic Fox for Red Pig. I would say that's still fair in today's values. I think it was fair back then as well, and both are super cute. Okay, so then I did a Red Dodo, a Red Kitsune, a Red Octopus, and a Red Pig for a flower-eyed brown bear, a flower-eyed polar bear, a Red Snowman, a Red Toucan, a Red Bat, and then some other like legendary petware. This trade was with my brother. I do think it was a win in today's values, but I think I was also trying to collect bears back then. So from what I can remember, I was actually super happy with the trade. He was super happy with the trade. In today's values, I would have said it was a win. Okay, so for the next trade, I did a red chicken and then a flowered polar bear for a neon flowered koala. From what I can remember, I literally became obsessed with the koala. Like, I think I called it Jelly Bean, and it was like my favorite pet of all time in Adopt Me. And like overall, I probably said like that trade was a lose in today's values. But at the time, I believe it was fair, and then also like I was super happy with it. So not gonna knock like however old I was self, but I mean I probably wouldn't do a trade like that today. So then this was just like a screenshot of my inventory which I took. I believe like it's not the best inventory as you can see. I don't use Robux in like the game anyway. I've only ever had Robux once in my life, which was like recently, and I just used it to dress up my avatar. So like all my pets were really basic starting out. Everything I have now I worked from the ground up for ages. And you know, those at the time I believe I was collecting like ride and fly pets and legendary, so that's why my inventory is like it is. So then I traded this neon kitsune for a red lion, which in today's values is a very big win, and I can see why I would want to do it back then because it was older. So yeah, I think I was happy with the trade, and I'm still happy with the trade. Okay, so I did this trade with my brother, which I think I would still probably do in today's values. Just because there's so many ride pets and it's just as good to grow your inventory like that. I think that was my idea at the time as well, and I did this trade with my brother. And then I traded my ride lion to my brother for all of this stuff. I'm not going to go naming it all because that's a lot. But I traded it for this. I would definitely not do this in today's values, although there are a lot of like ride and fly pets. And then on koala as well. It's such a downgrade, and I just probably wouldn't use my lion to do that. So then I did this trade for a neon flowered kitsune and a red potion for a neon flowered brown bear. Now, the crazy thing about this is such a big win in today's values. However, I think I was really like upset, and I regretted this trade once I like had done it, because I remember I think I was maybe like 11 maybe at the time, and I was like sitting in the car and I was just like, what have I done? Like, I remember regretting it, which is funny because today I'd be like pumped if that was a trade that I had done. Also, like in the corner you can kind of see like from the chat and stuff that the mythic egg had just come out. Like, this is how long ago these trades were. Like, it was insane. I miss this Adopt Me so much. And then what do you know, I basically downgraded my neon brown bear. This is definitely not a trade I would ever want to do in today's values because it's a downgrade, but also it would be such a lose in values. But also just in general, I don't really like any of the pets, but I think, like, again, my goal when there was no values, like, it wasn't, I think it was to definitely get, like, the cool pets, like the Frost Dragon or whatever, but like at the time it was just get right, like I like ride pets and I like fly pets, so that was my goal at the time, and I was obviously succeeding in it because although it's a lose, that is a lot of ride pets. And then these were just the ads after that he'd like added after the Brumby trade. So then I did this trade, which is actually, I find this really funny. I say that's fair in today's values, But I find it funny because I was collecting ride and fly pets, but then because the meerkat is an old pet, that was a thing that like older pets trumped ride pets or fly pets, or like in game versus out of game, like there was all of that they took into account. Like there was a point where even like things like a llama were way more than an elephant. So it's like those were the kinds of values that we were rolling with back then. So then I did this trade, which I'm questioning so hard right now. Why the heck would I do this? It wasn't an in-game pet for like an out-of-game pet, but I probably would not do this in today's, like not even probably, actually most definitely would not do this in today's values. So then this is where things start to get interesting, like what the heck. So basically I got the neon polar bear and then a bunch of other like ads for a fly Dalmatian. Like you could not, like in today's values, like on Alfred, I'm pretty sure a Dalmatian is worth double what the neon polar bear is worth. If like it might be even more. Like, so good trade. I would totally do that nowadays, but I think at the time it was fair. Okay. Okay, let me talk about this trade, right? This was back when like pink cats were like considered amazing, and they are amazing still. It's not that they're not, but because they were the first ever pets in the game, it was like insane to have. Well, not insane, but like it was quite good to have a pink cat. So they were worth as much as a Dalmatian, and I am shocked by that, because in today's value you would never see that trade. So would I do that trade in today's values? Absolutely not. But did I do it back then? Yes. Okay, well, this trade is honestly just sad. I don't know why I did this. I love the lambs. Actually, I feel like they're really underrated in Adopt Me currently. But I traded 4 lambs, like 4 separate lambs, for a neon fire-red sloth. I don't know why I would do that, other than I think I liked sloths at the time. But I would definitely not do this trade now. I think it's a loose trade, and I think it was also a loose trade back then. Okay, so then I did this Fired Frost Fury, and then 4 dragons, and then some other stuff too for a neon fired. Frost Dragon, I would say that the trade's pretty fair. I wouldn't say it's like an amazing trade, but it's decently fair. Okay, so then I traded a neon Ride Reindeer for a Ride Crocodile and a Ride Drake to my brother. I still think that's a win trade. I think reindeers are currently hard to trade. I don't know if they were back then, probably not. But also it's a win in value these days as well. So I would do that trade now. And back then I believe it was fair, maybe a small win for my brother. Okay, so this trade would definitely be a huge lose. I would definitely not do this now, just because it's such a downgrade, and like majority of those bets are really hard to trade currently. But I think at the time it was like fair. Yeah. Okay, so I would definitely not do this trade either. This is a lose. I still don't really understand why I would do it, other than the Frost Furies were really good at the time, and so were the Queen Bees. So I think that's maybe what persuaded me to do it, but yeah, I would definitely not do that trade now. So then this trade's around the time where I started getting a bit better at Adopt Me, and I started trying to like stop trying to focus on getting ride pets and started trying to focus on upgrading my inventory. So I did this trade for the Neon Pig. I feel like it's a win, and I would still do this trade nowadays. Okay, so I have a little bit to say about this trade. Like, what the heck, this is actually so good. At the time, I think it was like fair, maybe a small win for me. But literally, this is what surprised me when I first started playing Adopt Me again in November last year, was that cows had suddenly become so good. Like, they did not used to be that good. Like, they were okay. They were probably worth like 10 or something an hour, like, if I'm estimating. But the fact that they're now worth 30, and so that trade in today's values would have been an insane win, whereas back then, I think it was just an average trade. Oh, and then we're back to the painful trades. Okay, I hate this trade. Neon Kitsunes are so hard to trade. Like in today's values, I would never, ever, ever do that trade. That's 2 kangaroos, a turtle, and a meerkat, plus like some like ads and stuff as well. For 3 Neon Kitsunes. Like in today's value, 3 Neon Kitsunes is like barely worth a kangaroo. Why would I trade 2 and a turtle? I don't know, but again, it was different values back in those days, and back then there wasn't values, so there was no way to stop me from making bad trades like that. So then I did this trade, which I still feel like is a really good trade in my books. I would definitely do this trade today. So at the time, I was happy with it. I'd be happy with it in this time too. Okay, and then this trade is literally insane. I believe I was super shocked when I got this trade, like, originally, but I'd be super happy with this trade right now. This is obviously when I was getting, like, pretty good at Adopt Me by this point. And I was really happy with my Mega Cow. It was really cute. So I did finally get to the point where I got to a Frost Dragon, and then this is what I traded it for. I would definitely probably not do this trade in today's values, but I remember at the time it was a big win. Because I remember, like, saying to my brothers and stuff, like, I was really happy with the trade and I was able to, like, get profit from it and stuff. But yeah, so I was really happy with that trade. Okay, so I did this trade. I would never do this trade now. Golden penguins are hard to trade. I currently already had a neon golden penguin in that trade, but I also have a neon cow, which is already worth more today's values than the mega golden penguin. Again, I would just not do this trade. At the time, though, one of the mega, like, I really wanted a mega golden penguin, but I do remember I ended up regretting this trade because that's how I found out that mega golden penguins are hard to trade. Okay, so then again, this is just like my point of this is how easy that cows were to get. Granted, this trade is from my brother, however, we were both really happy with the trade at the time. So, like, that's why it was shocking to me how much cows were, like, insane in value once I started playing again, because this is what they used to be worth. Okay, so I did this trade, and I can safely say I would not be doing this trade in today's values. I think the validators are really cute, and I always did, but this is right after the Mythic Egg had come out, so there was a lot of them going around, and the Snow Owl was a lot older, so I think at the time it was a win, but currently it would be a lose. Okay, so then I did this trade, which I would actually say is decently fair in today's values because the cow's worth like 30 something now anyways, and it's not that far off the neon kangaroo, but at the time it was definitely a win, I think. Okay, so I did this trade and I was so happy about it that I went and edited like the screenshot that I'd taken of it. I bet it wasn't in my 2020 bingo card that in 2026, you know, I would be the one putting it in a YouTube video of mine, but you know, that's how life goes. And I don't know why I would do this trade. I wouldn't do it now, but at the time I think it was like a win and I was pretty happy with it. But yeah, definitely wouldn't do that now. Neon Skelly Rexes are way too hard to trade. And then I ended up trading my neon cow for this, even though I didn't get the screenshot, because in this next trade you will see me trading my flowered cow, and I didn't have another flowered cow other than that, so I definitely did that trade. I would say it's a decent trade. I wouldn't say it's like an amazing trade. I probably wouldn't do it in today's values, but it wouldn't be like a big lose. Okay, so there was a point where, and I do remember this clearly, that elephants and cows were basically worth the same in value. I think I liked the elephants more though, so I would have rather had the elephant. In today's values, wouldn't do this. It's worth half what a cow's worth now. But back then, I was happy with it, happy values, so I'm not going to knock it. Okay, so then this is going to be the last trade I'm going to be reacting to. What can I say about this trade? No. I would not do this trade at all today. Majority of those are currently hard to trade, not even to mention in today's values, it would be very under. But at the time, I believe I was happy with it, and I'm pretty sure it was fair. Okay guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. If you did, make sure that you like and subscribe. Comment down below if you would like to see a part 2 where I react to trades that I did when I started back at Adopt Me. I'll see you guys all next time. Bye!